guys! So I'm here today. I'm super excited to share with you my best tips of how to survive remote learning / online classes for college. I thought this was a perfect video to film because college is just about to start here in the next few weeks for a lot of people, and I wanted to give you some tips on how to do remote learning because I know it's hard for some people and some people do like it, but I wanted to give you some of my best tips that I have from remote learning because of COVID going on still and a lot of schools doing a lot of online work now. I've honestly always loved doing online work because then I can do it on my own pace, I can do it on my own time, which I do like, and I've been taking online classes since freshman year, so I have a lot of good tips to share with you. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and let's get started. So my first biggest tip is don't get behind. It really is like a snowball effect where it's like, oh crap, I missed this assignment. Okay, gotta finish that, and then another assignment's due. Or next test is coming up and I didn't finish all my assignments, which usually help with the tests. So really get your stuff done on time, and even if you can, a little bit ahead of time, so you can not get in this huge snowball effect and by the end of the semester realize you're not passing. So yeah, overall, don't get behind because that can just be a snowball effect and really hurt you in the end. My next one is print out your syllabus. I think this helps a lot because then you can kind of have that sheet with you. You can highlight the stuff that is due when the tests are, highlight that like a different color, and then instantly write down all the due dates that you have in your planner or on your Google Calendar, whichever one you use, because once you have all that down, then you don't really have to look at it again. You can just look at your calendar and you're like, okay, I know that this test is coming up, I know that this assignment is coming up, instead of having to go rummage through your stuff again, finding your syllabus. But printing out your syllabus helps a lot because then it'll be right there, so you can just look at it and type it into your computer or write it down so it's right there with you. If you don't want to print it out, obviously just use the PDF form that they have, but definitely write them down at the beginning of the semester so you don't get caught up and not realizing what's going on and what's due and when it's due. Another thing that's really helpful is block out specific times that you're going to be doing your online classes. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to block out an hour every day to do my work, so then I can't forget about it or days go by and I'm like, oh crap, when was the last time I logged on? So doing that really helps because then you know that there's set times in your schedule to do your online classes so you don't get behind and you can stay up to par of what's going on in class and do your work. This also helps too if you do have a job, so then you can kind of say, oh well, I'm not available this time for my work because I have to focus on school during this hour or few hours throughout the day. My next one is know where you are good at studying. Sometimes it could be your house, unless that's too loud, maybe a cafe, a restaurant, the library, stuff like that. There is a lot of different options for that, so that's good. I know a lot of people love the library at school because it's really made for studying and there's like snacks there, there's drinks, stuff like that, so that's a good place to really get away from your own house. I know I kind of like a combination of both. I do like to do it at home because I'm lazy sometimes, but also going to the library is nice, or a cafe, so then I know that I get some coffee and can actually work. Maybe even outside when it's nice out, so it really depends on what your preferences are, but definitely know your strengths and know where you can study and know that you have to go there to get your stuff done. If you know you can never get your stuff done at your house, know that you do have to block out that time to go to the library or somewhere else. This one's actually really big, and I feel like a lot of people don't really utilize this, but my next tip is know your most productive times. I know for me that in the morning, like 6 a.m. to let's say 9, I'm not productive whatsoever, so I'm not going to wake up early and do homework or study for tests. That I'm more a night owl who likes to study more later at night or at least throughout the day or early morning where it's like 10 to 12, because my brain does not wake up that time or is even ready to do anything. So I know my productive times is throughout the day / evening or nighttime, so I know to push all my stuff then, and knowing that if I do get up, I'm probably not going to get anything done, so there's no point. So I can use that actually to sleep and maybe stay up a little longer for a test or stuff like that. So really know your most productive times and utilize that, since you can do your classes whenever to your best strengths that you have. My next one is take really good notes. What's really great about this time now is that everyone has access to a Google account, and you can use Google Docs, which is a free website, and it saves everything so quickly, like instantly it saves it. You don't have to manually save stuff, which is nice, so if you do forget something or your computer shuts down something, all your work is saved. It's also nice to be able to highlight stuff on there, underline stuff, kind of make an outline of your notes already on the computer, which is super, super nice. So take really good notes because those do really help you. And also a hint is the Command F key helps you so much. It pops up this little box that you type in like the word that you're looking for in your notes, and it instantly goes to all the words and highlights those words that you're looking for. So that's super nice. I know that's how it is on the Mac. I think it's like that on PC as well, but definitely know that shortcut because that will help you so much. My next one is work ahead if possible. This really helps for me too, because if I know like I'm gonna have a busy week this next week, I can work ahead on my online classes and get them done this week, so then next week I don't have to do as much, if anything. Also, what's really nice about that too, if you do have the option, I know some professors lock stuff until that week, but if you do have the option to work ahead, I definitely would take advantage of that, because then you can also get done with the class earlier and kind of not have to focus on that class when you have like maybe bigger class test, final exam, stuff like that at the end of the semester. So definitely use that for your advantage. My next one is don't be afraid to email teachers. They really want to help you, which is nice, and they usually get back at a pretty reasonable time in like a day or so. So definitely reach out to them if you don't understand what's going on, if you don't know the directions of something, or if you need help, because they're really willing to help you. And especially with online, they'll probably be online more often than they would be if they're teaching classes. My next one is really check your grades like every other week, probably at the minimum. Because a lot of times I know a lot of friends of mine, they're like, oh, I don't check in until like a month in or until the end of the semester, and you could not realize you're failing classes or something and not know because you're not checking it. And it's also really beneficial to check because sometimes teachers do make mistakes and they grade you wrong. So you might as well let them know right when they put that grade in before the end of the semester, and then asking, because they're gonna be like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. So definitely check your grades, because a lot of times they can be bumped up if you talk to your professors, and you want to do that early on and be proactive instead of reactive at the end of the semester. And it's also, like I said, just really important to kind of know where you stand throughout the semester. So you know if you have to study harder for a certain test, or maybe try to do extra credit if they have it. So really check your grades. That's one of the biggest ones, because a lot of times it's easy not to log in and be like, oh, everything's fine, and then realize it is not fine at the end of the semester. My next one is Google Drive is really, really your best friend. It has Google Docs, like I just mentioned. It has Google Excel. It has Google Drive where you can put all these other files in it and so much more. It has like 10 other applications on there. So definitely use that for your advantage, because it is a free resource and you just have to have a Gmail account for that. So that's super nice, and definitely use those for your advantage, because like I said, it is a free resource and it's really, really good. It's not cheap or anything. It has a lot of great features on all of those things it has. It also has Google Slides, which is good to make presentations and not have to get Word, Microsoft, all that stuff, because that takes actually a lot of room on your computer. So it's nice to just have it on your internet, and you can log into it anywhere you are, instead of with Word, you have to be on your computer to get that file. So that is a little harder. And sometimes with Word and generally in your computer, sometimes it shuts down, random stuff happens, and you lose literally all your work. So by using Google, it really takes off the bad things that can happen a lot of times with assignments and just working in general. Another really great resource to use Quizlet. It really is an online flashcard website. It's really helpful because you can do a lot of different like tests on there to test your knowledge. There's like a game on there that you can do to test your knowledge, as well as a lot of different resources on it that other people have used that you can use for yourself, so you don't even have to make your own flashcards, which is super nice. So definitely use that, because that has been my lifesaver for going to college, and it's another free resource you can use as well. They have a premium one, which actually isn't too much. I think it's only like $14, $15 a year, so that's not bad. That approximates to like $2 a month, something like that. It could even be cheaper, but I know I have always used a free version and I've loved it, so I haven't ever had to upgrade. My next one is connect with other students if you can. I know on my website that I use for school, I can see who's in that class and see if any of my friends are in that class. I can directly message, or sometimes you're put in groups, so definitely message them, because being able to help each other is super, super beneficial, especially when you're in the same class so you both know what's going on. And it's good to be able to have an extra resource in that class to benefit you. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out, especially if you're in a group. Make like a group chat on your phone, stuff like that. Or if you do know anyone in the class, directly message them so you guys can help each other with like homework and stuff like that. And then my last one is kind of not really like to help you get through school, but it's kind of budget and get a job. So I think this is beneficial because you obviously want money coming in so you can actually go do things with your friends and stuff during college and be able to buy random stuff that you want. And since like a lot of people now are more on their own, so you're going to kind of need that money to be able to do things just in general, afford things, afford your bills. So definitely get a job that you can handle, maybe even like 10 hours a week, which is I feel like is very manageable. Budget well, because if you're spending your money on random stuff that you don't need and then rent comes up, then you don't have that, then that's a problem. But definitely be able to budget and get a job, which will really help you have more a well-rounded college experience, because you make a lot of really great friends at work as well as you make money. It's like best of both worlds. So definitely know your limits and definitely know that you can get a job, and even 10 hours I feel like isn't much and is very manageable for a lot of college students. I know a lot of people working way more than 10. So I feel like that is very capable of doing, and like I said, just make sure you do know how to spend your money so you do have some for bills and for fun. And so then those are the best tips that I have for doing online classes for 2020 because of this crazy time that we're in. So definitely comment down below any tips that you have that you've gone through or stuff like that to help others, because these are going to be harder times that we're getting near. So definitely we are all in this together and we can help each other out. So I hope you like watching this, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye guys.